GST.
Yes, let's get started. Well, speaking of rambling, what's our first topic for this week?
Of course, this week is one that you chucked in the Juicy Notes column this week. We have Kevin Feige, give me fuel, give me fire, give me never turn it up.
No. Anyway, yeah.
Sorry.
Interesting news has come out of the Marvel camp this week. Now, obviously, we're all very familiar with the recent separation. The heartbreaking breakup between Sony and Marvel with their agreement over Spider-Man.
Devastation.
Yeah. Obviously, as we all know, that young Tom Holland's Spider-Man was recently booted because Disney tried to be greedy and essentially ask for more than what they originally intended for Sony in terms of profits and... Well, profits. It's all profits. It's all profits.
It's all about the dollary dues, bro.
Yeah, those dollary dues, but as of this week, an agreement has been made, according to Kevin Feige.
Wait, is it really?
No, it's Feige.
Oh, okay, so it's Feige.
Feige.
Yeah.
Good going,
Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige has announced that...
Wait, is it even Kevin?
No,
Kevine.
Kevine.
Yes, so Kevin Feige.
So Kiaviuni.
So
Anyway, speaking of rambling,
back
on track. So Spider-Man is coming back into the MCU.
Yes,
only for one movie apparently. Though that's how much they're going to squeeze out. What they really want to do apparently is try and wrap up the massive open end they left at the end of Far From Home.
Okay, right.
You know, so I'm not exactly sure what the deal is.
See,
I don't think
wasn't that planned to be the end of that phase? Like, as in, bam, that's it for that. Even though they left it so open.
No. That was the end of the phase of the Marvel Cinematic. That was the Infinity Saga phase.
Supposed to keep going.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's why Marvel announced all these new projects, but with no Spider-Man involved.
That's correct, because...
They couldn't do it.
That's right, because they were trying to come to some sort of agreement, which Sony eventually turned around and said, well, mate, you've got everything else. Fuck off. You sold us Spider-Man back in the 90s for, like, next to nothing.
Yeah.
And even though, like, those movies... As much as we all love, like, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Mans...
He's a god.
Some of us enjoy The Amazing Spider-Man from Andrew Garfield, and... You know, I personally did. And some people liked Tom Holland's, you know, like obviously the Garfield one is kind of lowest in those ranks of Spider-Man movies, of course.
Yeah, clearly.
Like,
very clearly.
Very
anyway,
evidently.
But no.
But the agreement has struck. Spider-Man is back.
Man, this is more complicated than my last relationship.
I know, right?
I don't understand what the fuck just happened.
Yeah,
like,
right.
I don't understand how they literally, at war, announce everywhere, no, it's done, no more of that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, 2 months later?
Well,
there's just a completely
big
agreement.
Well, that's right.
Like,
well, it's not like they're getting him back.
They must have got a good counselor.
Yeah. So essentially, like, they're only getting him back for at least one more, which is going to be released around sort of mid to 2021. Okay. Obviously, no insights as to the story yet. It's simply just, hey, we'll have a movie out at this point.
J. Jonah Jacobson's got to be in there.
Jacobson, yeah.
J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, Jonah Jacobson.
J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons. Be in it.
Yeah, of course. He's got to be. There's no way he can't.
You can't throw that in there and then not having
I know, right? Yeah. But the interesting thing is that with this new deal, essentially, that's happened, there is speculation that this... Well, bringing Sony Spider-Man back into the MCU, that it could also mean the possibility of this current cinematic version of Venom joining the MCU.
Yes, which I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Tom versus Tom, bro.
Now, that is a great thing. But one thing I put on here, which I haven't seen anybody ask the question so far, is, you know,
I just read the note for the first time and went, oh, damn.
Tom Hardy Venom is cool. I mean, the movie was clearly a Sony product. You can tell by watching it.
Definitely.
Andy Serkis is directing the next one, which means this next Venom 2 should be really good.
Yes.
But what I had in the notes is, what would be a better scenario, having Tom Hardy's Venom in the MCU where he's kind of downplayed on the violence, or keeping him separate and introducing the MCU's version of Venom and keeping him completely separate?
That's intriguing to me, and I hadn't considered that because, like you said, the current Venom with Tom Hardy, that's Sony.
Yeah.
But if Spider-Man is now back in MCU, what's stopping them from having their own Venom and not even mentioning it to Tom Hardy?
That's right. And I think both would benefit from that in the way of...
Stop it. No, I'm pulling you up every time. Stop it.
I think it'll benefit in the way of, you know, that way like Andy Serkis / Tom Hardy / Woody Harrelson Venom can stay on this path of being that little bit more adult, little bit more violent.
Yes.
And that way, Obviously,
like
the more
that.
family-friendly version of Venom can be introduced in a more traditional Spider-Man way and have a better direct connection.
I don't mind that at all.
Because the original Venom storyline essentially is that, I'm going to butcher this, but essentially, the black suit Spider-Man from the symbiote is connected when Spider-Man comes back from space somehow.
Okay.
So that's how Venom gets to Earth and develops that connection.
Yes.
In Tom Hardy's Venom, he just hits Earth and there's no connection to Peter Parker whatsoever.
Yeah,
so
that's
I think it'll be good having that separation.
Well, with that being said as well, if the Marvel Cinematic Universe decided to, play the somewhat petty card and make their own Venom, Sony could fully just like all of a sudden in the next Venom or one of the Venoms, just have a brand new Spider-Man come in.
Why not?
Exactly. And they could just be like, fuck ya. We got a Spider-Man now too, bitch.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they've still got Tom Holland.
I don't see a problem with that. The thing about like superheroes, like franchises and cinematic universes these days is that for some fucking reason, the general public, the audience has got this idea that they all have to be connected.
No, it's because that's what we've been trained to feel now. All of them are fucking connected in some way now. I mean, Jesus, you go as far as the DC TV series Arrow and I can't remember any of the other ones. And all of those. Flash. And they had that like crossover like finale parts like a year or two ago where they all had an episode part 1, part 2, part 3 and they were all the same story but different episodes on each show. So like we've been trained to accept that they're all connected somehow, and if it's
because
not,
they're within the
we're
same
trying
company.
to connect it for them. So I mean, why the fuck not just be like, you know what, Tom Hardy's Venom, here comes Spider-Man. You know what, Tom Holland, here comes Venom. Why the fuck not?
Why can't
we won't get
that?
Tom vs. Tom, the greatest cinematic thing in the history of the world.
You can find another actor named Tom to fill in that Spider-Man role.
Exactly. Now, Tom Cruise.
Exactly.
Tom Cruise as Spider-Man. Or Tom Cruise as Venom. Oh, Tom Hiddleston. Oh my god.
As which one?
There's upwards of 2 other Toms.
Oh my god.
Tom Jones. Sex bomb. Yes.
But I think that's really interesting.
Venom, what are you doing? Sex bomb. I'm gonna fuck you up. Pew, pew. Sorry.
Anyway.
Yes. Okay.
So I think.
Sorry, I'm just glad that they've reached a deal. We get to probably finish this story with Tom Holland's current Spider-Man in the MCU.
Wrap it up somehow.
Exactly. At least give us one more. Just wrap up that, because that was a great cliffhanger at the end of
Homecoming?
Far From Home. Yeah, so I'm all for that. But speaking of MCU, while we're on the topic, I saw an article this week stating that the TV series for Disney Plus, the Loki, WandaVision, good fucking vision it, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they're going to have film budgets. So for an entire series, they're going to have an average film budget of about $125 to $150 million for one season.
And this is why Disney doesn't really need Spider-Man.
I mean, if they're willing to throw that at just some new TV series, that's ridiculous money, man.
They're expecting Disney Plus to bank, but we know it fucking will.
Of course it's going to. It's Disney. It's like, you literally, as far as franchises go in the world, it's got to be like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Disney. Like those are like the three. That's the Stonehenge. That's the fucking...
Stonehenge.
I can't remember what's that president's faces thing. Tell us in the comments below.
Mount Rushmore.
Tell us what the Mount Rushmore is. And then there's another one. I don't know, fucking Ford or something. Apple would be the other one. There you go.
Well, Apple and Disney.
Why are we talking about this?
Disney and Apple are kind of in the pockets of each other because
that's true now. They're good friends.
I could go into why, but I'm not going to.
They're the kind of people who like don't see each other that often, but if they see each other at a wedding, they'll have a quickie in the bathroom because they know each other.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
But no, and that means that a single episode of these TV shows could cost upwards of $25 million to produce. Just for one episode. That's just ludicrous.
Now, I think that'll
not the rapper. That's like insane. That's not the rapper.
In the membrane.
Exactly.
I think that'll work because I don't think that these characters and the way that they've been designed and the way we've seen them in the movies, the cinematic realm previously, that like a lower budget won't really work. I think it may for some of the stories, but when it comes to things like Loki, who's like the god of mischief, and he can shape shift and change his looks and do kinds of magic and things like that.
He's the god of very naughty boys.
Very naughty boys. And then then we've got Vision, who can change his outfit, and Wanda, who laser hands and things like that. It needs that bigger budget, and I think the reason they're going for this as well is because there has been those Disney properties that have been on Netflix, and like Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. There's been a few of those. Yeah, they've been good. What I've been told,
but they've very clearly got a TV budget.
Well, that's right, but none of them are like big, like super powered human beings either.
Yeah, true. That's right. It's more physical.
Yeah, that's correct. But in saying that, where was I going with that? Yeah, they do have TV budgets essentially. So these are obviously a step above. They may introduce those characters in here, but they're going to be different. They're going to be bigger. They're going to be better, and it's just going to fucking explode.
It actually shows you quite obviously the difference between a movie making money and a TV show making money, because these TV shows, if they produced, say, 10 episodes, 45 minutes an episode, that's 450 minutes of content.
Yep.
A movie's 2 hours, 240 minutes at most.
It's not that big of a difference.
No. Yeah. It's more for the TV show. So it's actually somewhat of, as ridiculous as it sounds, the money that they're going to spend on the TV shows. It makes sense, but also isn't a surprise that it should have happened earlier. Well, I think, with the amount of more content that they're making.
Well, I think the reason that it works, and I think the reason that people freak out going, that's a lot of money for a TV series, is because TV series are expected to come out, say 3 or 4 or 5 within the year, where the movie, it comes out every 2 or 3 years, except for in the case of Marvel, where there's at least one or two every year. There's going to be, like, the TV series, they're going to be released a bit more frequent. So, it's going to come steamrolling through. It's going to fucking crash the gate of the streaming service fucking bus, and
absolutely,
it's going to fucking kill it, I think. But
well, speaking of crashing the bus,